Here's the thing, Mike. I was on Legion of Skanks a couple weeks ago, and I use my real name. I usually go by Chris from Brooklyn, but I use my real last name, which everybody knows is F, like Frank, A-G-A, if you're really paying attention, right? My last name is Fega. If you're paying attention, people know. Look, it's a much bigger show, and I used the real name 2 weeks ago. But I went through some of the YouTube comments. It was very funny. A lot of people going, oof, why he went by From Brooklyn for so long once they read that. Now, we've talked about having to deal with the having the word fag in my last name for my whole life. And people are always like, that must have been rough. And I'm just like, the playground I used to hang out in was by all the scrapyards my homeless mom returned medals at. There's a lot more to make fun of me for than the last name.
Yeah, they got done by that by like kindergarten.
Yeah, like it's like, come on. Like it's also like I've always been very good at pointing out the really hurtful things. So if like you're being like a dick about my last name enough, like whatever, like you've met my buddy, but like I got a friend who's a fucking he's in a construction union, and when I was opening my kitchen, he would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be like rich in a few years, and you'll just be flipping burgers. And I let him say it once, drunk. Have I told this story? No. And then the second time he said it drunk, to kind of try to get to me, I go, dude, I'm pursuing a dream. Your dream is to be a musician, right? But you're not talented enough to do that. So instead, you took the job where an Oxycontin addict yells at you all day just so you can move out of your mom's basement. And he left. And I've always been that good at hurting people's feelings, Mike, when I need to. And you've never seen me like hurt somebody's feelings because I don't like, it's mean to do. Nobody should do that. But that's part of having that name and the homeless mom. Like literally people were like, it's such a funny thing. Like people were like, so your mom is like homeless. Like I knew it was like rough when I saw my mom sitting on a garbage couch with a guy that we all used to call the macho bum Randy Sewage. I knew it was a major issue. Do you know why we called him that, Mike? Because he only talked like Macho Man.
I thought it was going to be because he smelled like sewage.
Well, no, Randy Sewage is just better than Randy Savage if he's a bum. You know what I mean?
Sense.
But
Okay.
he was the macho bum because he always talked like Macho Man Randy Savage at all times. And my mom was just sitting on a garbage couch drinking beer with him and the one we used to call Elizabeth. Now, she wasn't demure like Elizabeth, but she was the first woman I ever saw pee standing up, Mike. Multiple times. It was impressive. She would drop trow and pee would shoot out in an arc and hit a wall.
MVP.
It was fucking crazy.
Okay.
So there's a lot more to make fun of me for than the last name, folks.
Just a quick question. About Macho Bum Randy Sewage.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Do we know he was doing a Macho Man impression?
I assume.
Right. That's a natural assumption. Because you were introduced to Macho Man before you were introduced to Randy Sewage. But is it possible that
I think his name, you know how there's like old Spanish dudes, it's like Flaco or whatever. They call him Macho sometimes. So I think he just ran with it. I think he just lost his mind doing drugs.
is Flaco Macho?
No, but I mean like it's like an old fucking Hector Macho Camacho. It's like a fucking old fucking Spanish guy nickname. He was an old Spanish guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Randall Mario Poffo stumbled upon a man sitting on a garbage couch, drinking some beers, talking in a way that got the people excited to hear what he was going to say?
I mean, it's certainly possible. It's certainly possible that Macho Bum Randy Sewage gradually emigrated from Florida, where Randy Poffo grew up, to New York. And maybe, who knows, maybe he wasn't a homeless bum at that point. Maybe he hadn't found his love of crack cocaine yet.
Maybe he was just a real slick guy who walked around with a lot of like fringe.
Yeah. Maybe he was just a real cool dude, and he coached a Little League team for one Randy Poffo, who later became the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Like every time he had a home run, he'd go, "Oh yeah!" And you're like, "Oh, that's a good thing. I should take that."
That's pretty good.
That's solid, right?
Yeah.
And like, look, I guess if a guy who you coached in Little League stole your entire gimmick and then went on to become a millionaire.
Oh, you're saying you think Macho Bum Randy Sewage at one point could have been you think he was working for Randy Poffo's dad in the Florida Outlaw wrestling promotion?
Just saying,
But here's the thing. Elizabeth was not really a ring rat. She was. That's the thing. He kind of looked like at some point he was like an in shape guy who just. The chick he rolled with was like. That was a fucking. It looked like she was born homeless. Like, you know how Athena sprang forth from Zeus's forehead? Like, she sprang forth from a dumpster.
Okay. But, right, her name was only Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. Because she was with Randy the Macho
Bum Randy Sewage.
Right.
Get his name right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. There was also a guy named Cornbread who had a multiple decker. He had like a limousine of shopping carts that he would come through, and he had it all decked out, and he would tell you that his name was the original Cornbread. And I was like, I don't know a different Cornbread, so fine.
Think he knows Corn Pop?
Maybe he was Corn Pop. I mean, you got all sorts of conspiracy theories here, Mike.
I'm just saying, right?
I called him Esther once, and he fucking sliced my throat.
What?
That's what Corn Pop's real name is, Esther, in the Joe Biden story.
Gotcha. So the right. I was trying to link all these pieces together, right? But you wouldn't call her Elizabeth if she wasn't with him.
No.
Right? So, like, she's just some fucking trash that he picked up along the way.
Yes.
Right? After he'd already, like, drunk himself.
Are you calling her Sensational Sherry?
I mean, tell me she didn't look a lot more like Sensational Sherry than she did.
She didn't have a long butt, though, you know? Sensational Sherry had that 80s long butt going.
How was she keeping a donk on her with a fucking while sitting on outside couches and peeing standing up? That doesn't sound like.
I mean, I was just saying she was a thicker woman.
All right.
But yeah, so there's more to make fun of me than my last name is all I'm saying. But it did get me thinking. It was like I saw a thread on somewhere on social media where it was like, "What's the last thing that changed your mind?" And I remember what changed my mind about gay people adopting kids, because I was against it when I was really young, and I had no information on it. I was just being stupid, like I was being ignorant. Like I literally was just like, I thought, like I was thinking of it from my life perspective, and there's already enough stuff to make fun of. It's like my mom was addicted to crack, so people were like, well, your mom probably sucks dick for crack, which is bad enough. But if somebody's like, your dad definitely sucks dick for crack, that would really suck. So I just thought of it through that lens of like gay adoption. And then once I could separate myself and realize how much better any parent that went through an adoption process was than either of my parents ever could have been, I was like, yeah, all right, gay adoption's fine. If they're getting through the process, I don't think they're making them gay.
Makes sense.
I know dudes with gay dads who are not gay. Then again, I guess their dads didn't know at this age either.
Yeah, I mean.
You think we're going to find out those guys are gay?
Yes, I 100% think Dwayne is going to come out as gay.
Dwayne?
Isn't
Dwayne? Oh, Dwayne Cullen? I wasn't even talking about Dwayne
Isn't
Cullen.
he the one who has two gay dads?
He does have two. He has, well, one gay actual dad and then a side dad.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they call them, side dads, right? Is your gay dad your daddy? No, I have two guys I grew up with whose dads turned out to be gay. Two guys that Dave went to elementary school with, Dave Smith. But yeah, so you can do more than make fun of somebody's last name. All right, it's fine. I only went with the from Brooklyn thing because of the Ron Bennington thing. He just started calling me that, and I was like, oh, we'll do that on a podcast. And then it's been way too long, and I was just like, I'll just keep doing this. And then sometimes it's fucking stupid of me, right?
I mean, I don't know. It's a branding thing. You've spent 10 years building it. It doesn't make sense to just go up and drop it.
Fair enough. And I like it. It's fun. It's fun to be able to come back and forth. And then if I can always say all those horrible things I said in character.
Checks out.
Yeah, because I did. Because Chris from Brooklyn is a character. It's a weird meta character that understands it's a character. It's like Deadpool in the comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're clearly the Deadpool of this network.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's a fucking great compliment, dude.
I'm just saying the guy who can like always look at the camera and be like, yeah, I mean, all of this is just we're doing play radio with our friends.
Yeah, this is nonsense. Everything we do is nonsense. This is life fantasy camp. I can't believe we've said that. That's how we started. Those are the first two episodes of this show. It's just being like, we get to just do this. I'll always, if you haven't listened to the early episodes of this show, I always say this. Mike once looked at me on acid at a Capitol Wrestling event and go, how do we get these jobs? How did this happen that we got these jobs? Which was a great moment. But you could also make fun of me for attempting to be an adult clown. It's also a silly thing to try to be.
Yeah, I mean, to be
A
fair,
traveling adult clown. I'm going door to door selling jokes. Me and Robbie Bernstein have literally been slinging jokes in backyards for sandwiches and donations.
I mean, that's essentially just giving alms at that point.
Yeah.
No, but like, oh fuck, I had something.
You didn't smoke weed before the show, Mike. This is why you're losing everything.
Yeah, I swear my brain is just not
It's the
working.
first
right
time
now.
you've never smoked weed before we did a podcast.
Yeah, maybe. I also only slept 3 hours last night because I was sleeping in a bar. It was a goddamn nightmare.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's move on and we'll talk about that.
Hold on.
You remember this thing?
I'm gonna remember this fucking thing.
Okay.
It's killing me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. At the time when I was like all jazzed up about how awesome my job was, right, and like this awesome thing that we get to do, I was homeless and I slept in a park that night.
Well, you slept in a bar last night and you don't even drink.
Right, we should move on.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get podcasts. And make sure you follow me at Chris from BKLYN on Twitter. Also, of course, make sure you support our sponsor. That sponsor is Vinylgraph. With Vinylgraph, you can make custom graffiti pieces that are on vinyl stickers that adhere to your wall. They're reusable. You can take them down, use them again. Vinylgraph.com. That's VINYLGRAFF.com. Use the promo code Chris1 at checkout, and they're going to give you a sweet 10% discount. That's vinylgraph.com. Use the promo code Chris1 for a discount.